Welcome to Critical Hit, a Major Spoilers podcast. Thank you so much for downloading and checking us out this week as we continue the Void Saga story with Rodrigo. And my goodness, so many things happening last time
on Critical Hit.
There you go, Brian. You're down with the you're down with the plan. Brian gets an extra XP for that.
Woo.
One extra XP.
One extra XP?
Yep.
Sweet.
Yep.
I don't think you're in charge of giving out the XP.
It's okay. It's only one. It's not gonna.
Brian has one XP for the next game. Steven.
There you go.
There you go.
So, Rodrigo, why don't we jump into the action? And I think we're supposed to go looking for a ghost holder or something.
A fetter.
A fetter.
Yeah.
We don't know if it's a duck fetter or if it's a unicorn fetter.
Which is apparently in the bowels of this island, which are totally not infested with slod and spiders.
Yes.
And slod spiders.
Oh, God.
Well, that's about as good a recap as I could have hoped for, I guess.
We need to get our ninja ghosts, so yes.
It's funny because it's true, but it sounds so silly.
Yeah, don't ever try to take a step back and look at anything that's happened in this game. Certainly not any given arc. So yeah, it gets to be morning. What do you guys do?
I think we need to figure out. Does he know?
I think he said he had a map for us potentially.
Okay, good.
Okay.
He doesn't have a map. He knows where he lost it.
Okay.
So he can kind of give you directions.
Is the implication that it's still attached to his corpse, or am I reading into it?
No, I don't think it's attached to his corpse.
Spoilers, man.
How far away from the tower or his other fetters can he go?
Are you asking him?
Sure, let's say yes.
Sure, yeah. Why not?
Yeah.
Okay. Not very far.
Okay. So you can tell us a general idea of where it should be located, and then would you be able to go to that location so as you can point it out for us once we get there?
I can do that, yes.
Okay. That sounds like it might help out, make things a little easier.
So, new guy, you're a bit of a wildernessy type guy, are you?
You could say that, yes.
All right. Suppose we'll let you take point then.
All right. So we have a map.
We do not have a map. We have a general direction.
Well, then, we will continue in that general direction.
All right. So Sakar leads as you guys go deeper into the island?
Yes, apparently so.
So as you guys get past the tower and deeper into the island, you can see some of the other structures that the island staff used, but fairly quickly you get to the edge of that. Although you can see telltale signs that, this place was raided, abandoned, broken weapons, barricades that were crushed or broken, just sometimes like straight up corpses.
That's disturbing.
Corpses aren't good.
Anyone we recognize?
Yeah, probably here or there. You can. Most of the corpses are pretty busted up. A, busted up, and B, they've been decomposing for almost a year. Right. But you can recognize some people that you might have come across by their clothing, but no big named NPCs. You can be like, oh, I remember that guy from the mess hall that got impaled into the mess hall.
It's that guy. Mm. Do we want to look and see if there's anything useful amongst the carnage?
Definitely. I'm not picking through bodies.
Right, we should, yeah.
And we kind of looked around before and saw that anything that was of use had been
picked over,
either taken or destroyed.
Okay.
And if we had the time, I would want to give all these people proper rights
So you guys travel deeper into the island, and there are sort of, if you'll recall, there are other structures around that you guys weren't using. There's another kind of a lookout tower type place. There's also these like barracks that had been abandoned even by the time that you guys got there. And that kind of generally marks the edge of where you guys had been to in the island. And right around this area, you start spotting spiders.
Great.
How large?
So you spot a couple that are maybe, from it's hard to measure a spider because their legs are so spindly, but generally speaking, you spot a couple that are probably like human sized.
Mm-hmm.
But you also spot another one kind of off in the distance that is almost certainly large, like, as big as a horse or, something similar. Like I said before, these spiders don't look like they used to. They're kind of scaly. And now that you see these ones, their faces are kind of messed up. They don't really have like so much the like 8 symmetrical eyes that you guys have become so familiar with being attacked by spiders constantly in this campaign. Really, it kind of looks like somebody took that general idea, covered it in scales, and then used like the pinch tool to just like merp. So,
God.
Yeah, they, the couple that you can see, you can tell that some of them probably have like dead, unusable eyes because of the way that they've been warped, as well as a couple of like particularly large inflamed eyes, which is probably what they're actually using to see.
So when you say human size, are we talking like cephalothorax and abdomen human size with legs out of that?
Yeah, so legs longer than that.
Right.
Yeah, when I say human sized, I guess it would be
the main body thing.
Yeah, like a 6 feet between the cephalothorax and the abdomen.
Ugh.
With, legs that are significantly longer than that, but because of the way that they hold them, not spread out too far past that. There is these spiders, all 3 of them, are heading deeper into the island, roughly in the direction that you guys are going. And up ahead, there appears to be a lot of dust, like something up ahead seems to be kicking up lots of dust. So it's kind of hard to tell what exactly it is.
Would there be any way from this distance to tell anything specific about, I don't know, what the hell those things are?
The spiders?
The spiders, yeah. As far as, I think we all have theories. But like, is there anything that we could glean from this distance other than big red scaly gross thing, way too big?
Well, they're not all red. Their abdomen is like kind of full of fluid and glowing.
So not okay.
And otherwise transparent, so you can just see all the fluid in there, all the glowing liquid.
We're sorry, Otter.
So I guess one thing that you can certainly tell from this distance, what with everybody's degree in entomology by now, is that you're pretty sure that these things either have spotted you or could have spotted you and maybe they can't see that well, or they have spotted you and they don't care.
Oh, well, that's
they're
something.
They're not coming at you.
They're not here to attack us.
Yeah.
So my guess is, Rodrigo, for those of us that were not part of the Sparkle Tones, we would have encountered these kinds of spiders when we were in the Underdark, when we met Zanam, when beyond just what we saw on the last island, right?
None of you have ever seen spiders like this before.
Okay.
There is something that is Like, you recognize the basic body plan of
Mhm.
probably a drow-grown spider, but yeah, their particular, really, there's like weird mutations that they seem to have going on are not something we've
slotification.
encountered before.
It's gross, man. It's gross.
So gross.
Well, if they don't seem to have any interest in us, that's a good thing.
Yes, very good. I still say we need to proceed with caution, though.
Oh, obviously. Whatever they are doing or whatever's kicking up this dust, we should be aware.
Yes.
The dust is what concerns me at this point.
Why is that?
My assumption is that it's something larger, perhaps a larger spider or something worse.
Great.
Do you have what is the nature of your nature powers?
Well, I believe that their nature is natural. Are you asking whether Sikar should do some sort of nature check or commune with the spirits of the Island and see if there's anything going on?
I would think that Seven Owls Wise would understand that might be a way of getting a lay of the land, and so that might be implied in his question.
That's a good question. Presumably, this is not the first warden in Seven Owls Wise's world.
Perhaps.
What are you trying to do here?
Oh, he asked a question of Sikar, and I had an out-of-character musing, and I'm now going to go back into character. Please stand by. Takes a moment. I have to... Lemon face. Ew, lion face. Okay, I'm back. Are you asking if I can divine the nature of the creatures?
Maybe
or whatever it is?
Perhaps not divine the nature of the creatures, but I am aware of some wardens who are able to commune with the local wildlife, and it might be a way of figuring out what's ahead.
Well, I am out of practice, but it certainly couldn't hurt to try.
Well, it could hurt, but, probably still worth doing.
Your optimism is much appreciated.
Of course. That's what I'm here for. Also the stabbing.
All right, Zakar's going to try to do something nature-y.
Okay, what does he do?
Specifically, you may recall previous interactions where Zakar has tried to divine whether there are any spirits around or see if there's anything that he could communicate with. I believe there were some pink axolotls at one point that he was able to communicate with, and see if anything like that might be on the island. And, see if that's even a thing he can do anymore.
Okay.
So Zakar will sit, crossing his legs, attempting to sit without moving and failing miserably at the not moving part, and try to see what the spirits of the island have to say for themselves.
Okay, why don't you give me a nature check?
Sometimes you roll a 38 nature check.
So Zakar sits down and tries to still his mind and commune with the natural spirits of the island. Unfortunately, the natural spirits of the island are very much dormant and probably have been for some time on account of the sort of death energy that is in the island right now, what with the massacre and possibly whatever the spiders are doing. So it's hard to find that, but there's some like weird death energy nodes.
Death energy nodes?
Mm-hmm.
How many would you say? Is it everywhere or just...
It's hard to tell. One of them is back the way you came, so that's almost certainly either the site of wherever most people were killed, or possibly actually the tower where Salath is hanging out.
Maybe Salath himself.
Possibly. Another one, maybe to put it more clearly, not necessarily death energy, but a shadow energy node is basically standing right behind you.
Whoa.
It's down.
Yeah.
That much I think I can mostly figure out once I stop being startled by it.
And then there's another one deeper in the island. again, more or less in the direction that you guys were heading. But you're pretty sure that, basically you can mark it in your HUD.
Okay. I'm gonna click on it with the X so that it stays on my display and I see it as I'm walking.
Yeah.
Sakar opens his eyes and starts to get up. And then kind of doesn't quite get up and almost falls.
I'll help him up.
Thank you.
So?
There, whatever was here seems to be dormant, but there's definitely something ahead, and it reeks of death.
Lovely.
You did
That
say
may
that
be
there
a
was a
good
slot
thing.
here?
Well, I'm not certain. I don't have that kind of information, but whatever it is may actually be what we're looking for.
Okay.
It certainly seems to be in the direction that Salath indicated we should continue.
This is just a lark here, but Little Sparkle's going to try to just focus, I guess, because I was able to find chaos magic before, and that might have just been a fluke or just caused by the absurd amount of chaos magic that was on the boat. But just trying to figure out if she can detect at all this thing that Sakar is talking about, or anything else going on here.
All right, she can spend some time focusing and can't really get a particularly good read, very far off, and eventually she kind of realizes it's because like Sakar's throwing her off.
Like I can detect him?
Yeah. Or rather his presence is like a big check mark of like things where rats care about, so it's hard to like get past it.
Sure. What does he feel like?
It kind of feels like a knot that it's like kind of like you're holding one end of a rope and there's a big knot at the end and you don't really have the ability to untangle it.
She as we're walking, just stares at Sakar. It's like, I can sort of sense you now.
That's interesting. I suppose it's to be expected if you're truly aware.
Yeah.
Aware and aware.
It's I guess probably for the best, considering I was definitely going to stab you a bunch when I thought that you were a monster.
Well, you may now actually be prohibited from doing so.
Oh yeah, no, that's what I mean. I'm pretty sure I couldn't.
The lack of stabbing seems like a good thing.
Yeah. Like
Can
seriously,
I sense her?
I let Dallin stab me so that I could try to stab you. There was going to be so much stabbing.
It's good to see that we still have insane tactics, even with Hazard missing.
Yeah, I mean, well, Dallin's kind of like Hazard as far as I can tell. Like, he got his power from a Fey Lord as opposed to Asmodeus. God, I wonder how that works now. It's complicated.
I imagine so. Can Sakar sense her as well?
Yeah, now that you think about it, you can.
Oh. That's interesting. You feel like a were-rat.
Go figure.
And yet, also like a bird.
Yeah, well, you just feel like a knot that I kind of like want to pick at.
I'll choose to take that as a compliment. Although I think I know what you mean.
So you guys continue walking?
Traveling.
Okay. Well, as you guys near the dust cloud, you start spotting a lot more spiders, which again, don't really seem interested in you.
Define a lot.
Well, there's lots of little ones, like a few thousand ones that are probably like, the size of like a coffee dish. I don't know, what are those called? Like a
saucer.
You know what I'm talking about? Yeah,
Saucer.
like a saucer.
Mm-hmm.
And then again, there's maybe like 5 or 6 like big dog-sized ones that walk near you guys as you approach the big dust cloud. And also as you approach the big dust cloud, it looks less and less like a cohesive dust cloud and more like just like big plumes of dust kind of coming at you from, roughly the same direction, but there appears to be all kinds of stuff kicking up dust all over the place.
But none of the spiders seem interested in us.
Nope.
What's at the center of this dust cloud?
It appears to be dust right now. It's hard to tell.
Do you think if we got closer, we might be able to tell?
You'd pretty much have to.
Well, let's get closer.
I will
As you guys, go ahead.
fix a little bandana over my beak for before we head to the dust cloud.
For
Smart.
breathing in the dust.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure that little Sparkles and Ibis, I'm pretty sure her nostrils are like up by her eyes.
Yeah.
On
So-
the top.
I guess, I don't know, right under my eyes.
Yeah.
Or maybe even like over my eyes, but kind of loose so it blocks the dust, but I'm a little able to see.
So like sort of a vertical bandana.
Mhm.
Oh,
A
that's
little
kinda
horizontal bandana, just over her eyes, and like the top where her nostrils are at the top of her beak.
All right, so you guys continue in, and as you continue in, you start seeing more and more spiders, and you see that they are doing stuff. Mainly, some of them appear to be digging. Others appear to be either tearing down some buildings around here, or just trying to like do something to them. Like if they're not trying to like break them, then they're trying to like basically dig into the brick or whatever. You also spot, again, at this stage, just like thousands of little ones, probably at least 100 of the dog-sized ones, and you start seeing ones that are like really, really big, like maybe a little over elephant-sized ones, like straddling between buildings.
Those are some
It's-
scary spiders.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm really glad they don't seem very interested in us. Let's just try to stay out
Well-
of their way and keep on looking for this fetter.
Agreed.
Do we know what it
Yeah.
looks like?
Yeah. What was the name of the weapon? It was like a ninja weapon. Kunai. Yep.
Hmm.
Little throwing dagger type thing.
All right, so you guys continue your travels, and it honestly starts to get pretty difficult to stay out of the spider's way because they become very numerous.
Hmm.
Finally, you get to what is probably the thing that is kicking up the most dust, and that appears to be a big giant hole where lots of different size spiders are digging.
Does there seem to be any indication of why?
Not immediately.
Not that we can glean visually, anyway.
Yeah.
Is there some place where we
Check it
could
out.
get up a little higher and see into the hole?
Yeah, some of these buildings are still standing.
All right, I'll carefully make my way up a building to see if I can see down into the hole.
So Seven Owls Wise climbs up a building, might even find like the staircase to the building might still be intact, so might actually be able to just walk up
Okay.
and look down, and the hole's getting pretty deep. It's maybe, I don't know, we'll say at its deepest point, it's probably about 20 feet.
Okay.
And just, you can see, it's hard to tell because as soon as you start moving away from it, the dust really obscures it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you can just see just thousands of spiders digging here. Some big ones making some leeway, and some little ones that are either digging or actually moving dirt out of the way.
Okay. But can't really see what they're digging for or at.
Yeah, not really.
Okay.
Seven Owls from so he's looking straight at it. So from his left, hears a voice
Ooh.
that says, what do you think they're doing?
I turn to look.
Okay, there's an just truly colossal eye looking at you.
Ah.
It's, I don't know, easily a good 12 feet in diameter.
Double blah. What is that? What are you? as I kind of trying to scramble away from it.
This thing tries to maintain conversational distance, so just moves in your direction as you scramble away from it. It appears to be a massive, from what you can see, what appears to be the head of a massive toad. Just, and when I say massive, I mean like huge.
Oh, yeah, it's got to be as tall as the building.
The five of you could comfortably, how toads' heads are kind of flat on top?
Yeah.
Like the five of you could comfortably stand on top of its head, like, and still have plenty of space to kind of walk around a little bit.
Can we all see this, or just Seven at this point?
You can now. You hear Seven call out, and there's this giant toad-like monster kind of moving towards him as he scrambles back, as it moves out of the dust and tries to clamber onto this building to talk to him. You can see that it has an enormous, glowing, translucent abdomen and 8 giant spider legs, as well as 2 big, grabby, clawy arms.
So does it look like a toad spider hybrid or a slod spider hybrid?
Yeah, it looks like a bright red human monster toad spider hybrid. So
great,
yeah.
great. Little Sparkle's just like, I don't suppose you know Stabums?
One of the eyes moves in the direction of Little Sparkle. Who's at that?
She waves.
He's like about to grab Seven Owls and then stops and then just kind of turns in that direction. Oh, hey, Little Sparkle. I didn't think any of you guys were going to come back. And just like giant spider walks towards you. And again, walks to a conversational distance, which means he just like walks right up to you guys and kind of lowers its head.
New look, Stabums?
It is?
Yeah, well, you're a giant spider now.
I am?
Yeah. I would have thought you would know.
Oh, I don't know. I've just been here working, and, a spider walks by and he, like, grabs it and throws it in his mouth.
What you working on?
Oh, catching spiders.
Okay. Well, cool.
So now that Stabums has moved away from Seven Owls, he can see, basically, he has his back to him, and he can see just from that abdomen, like a little bubble of fluid, like starts to like inflate and then separates, kind of rolls down, lands on the ground, scabs over, and then a bunch of legs grow out of it and starts like kind of skittering away.
Oh God.
Don't suppose you've seen a throwing knife down here?
No, I haven't. Oh wait, yes I have.
Oh,
like way down there, and he points in a direction, roughly in the direction that you guys had been moving.
Okay. Well, we're looking for that. So if it's cool, we're gonna just keep doing that.
I guess.
Do you need like something else to do besides catching spiders at this point?
No, I'm still being paid. Sarza told me about her secret cash, so I've just been getting my funds out of that.
Where is that?
Secret cash?
Yeah, the secret cash.
No, I didn't know about that. Could you tell me where that is?
Yeah, you just, he like points at a building. It's like, you just gotta go into that building and then crawl down the hole.
Is that building also in the way that we're going?
No, but it's pretty close to where you guys are at right now.
Oh, great. What was your salary again?
I got promoted to 1 gold for every 2 days of work.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's reasonable. And you're still happy catching spiders?
Oh yeah, as long as I have a job.
Cool. All right. Well, we'll leave you. Great. Then we'll go check it out, see if there's anything that that's useful to us, and make sure to leave you plenty of money for your job.
Okay.
What happens if you don't have a job?
Oh, usual stuff. Get real mean and chaotic and probably go on a rampage.
Cool. And is you turning into spider, like, because you're eating all the spiders and then the spiders come out of you, a normal thing for Slod?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay. Cool. All right, well, good seeing you again, Stabs.
Oh, you too.
I climb down the tower and rejoin the party.
Okay.
And look at her and say, you had an evil book imp and you hired a Slod?
I didn't have an evil book imp. That was Ket. And it was Randus that hired the Slod. I don't make decisions this bad.
I just look at Albrecht and just kind of shake my head in amazement.
I think he's kind of cool.
I don't know, once we get off this island and tell Sloth what's going on, we might need to get some extremely heavy weaponry here to deal with this situation.
I think a giant fireball from the heavens is the only way to
be sure. Yeah,
Yes.
I agree. I'm a big I agree. This is not good.
Well, then we should probably proceed as quickly as possible.
Yeah, let's make a detour to this stash though, and see if there's anything of use besides whatever money that we need to leave here to keep him from leaving.
Okay. So we'll move over to whatever the building was that Stabbins had indicated.
Yep. It's a fairly large building, mostly intact, and there does appear to be kind of a cellar type situation right outside.
Okay. So I'll open the door slowly.
You open the door.
Yes.
There's a couple spiders in there, but other than that,
Pardon us, we'll just be passing through.
How large are they?
these are fairly small. They're just like Chihuahua sized.
Oh, just.
It's cat spiders. It'll be fine.
Just the size of the largest possible spider on actual Earth today.
Chihuahua, a little small.
Is there any possibility that we are accidentally trampling on the little ones and squishing them?
No, they're actually pretty good about getting out from underfoot. And if you are definitely once you're indoors, they actually tend to avoid the floors. So really, it's more likely that you'll accidentally brush up against one, as with your head as you walk into the cellar.
It'll crawl into your ear and lay eggs and eat its way through to the other side.
God.
the
Somehow we've
huge.
combined Slod and spiders, one of the most unnaturally horrifying things in D&D, and one of the most horrifying things in the real world. You're truly a monster, Rodrigo.
Yeah, I know.
I told you guys that 4 seasons ago when we saw those candle heads, but nobody listened to me.
Yeah, I wasn't there for that.
You
all right.
heard it.
They had the weird melty face.
Stop it.
And the flappy faces.
And the flappy faces.
So what's in the cellar?
In the cellar is a surprising amount of heavy furniture. There is kind of an armoire and a big, like a big heavy wooden bench, like you might see at a train station or something, as well as some barrels.
Look inside one of those barrels.
Okay. It appears to be empty, except for a spider, which crawls out when you open it.
Nice. Okay. Gross. Let's find this hole or pit that he was talking about. And
I'll look under the furniture for trapdoors and such.
Okay.
I'm going to look in the armoire for a portal to Narnia.
Okay. There does not appear to be anything inside the armoire.
Mr. Tumnus, Snow.
You guys are just too old.
Shut up.
Because I wear makeup, isn't it?
Yeah, I was going to say, we got too interested in boys in makeup. And
Yep, that's exactly it. You, when you look at the armoire, there doesn't appear to be anything. When Little Sparkle checks under the bench, there's a small spider under there. You can hear the little spider go, "Yeah, it's through here."
The little
thanks,
spider
Stabbums.
talk?
Thank
Yep.
you.
And it sounds like Stabbums.
Seven Owls is just very disturbed by all this.
This is horrible.
I mean, the Sparkle is extremely disturbed. Her bluff is just very good.
You find a switch and which loosens the floorboards that the bench is on, and then you can actually basically tip the bench over and use its weight to open a trapdoor.
Sweet. I will do so.
And there's some stairs leading down. It is a very narrow passage.
I'll take point, I guess.
Sakar will follow.
Wait, we're all going down?
I mean, we don't have to if you don't want to.
But we definitely are.
I mean, you can stay up here with the slot spiders.
I'm going with them.
I'll
The
follow.
sliders, if you will.
I'm last.
Yeah, Albrecht is like, score, finally an underground adventure.
I've been looking for a dungeon for 5 months now.
Wait, stone cutting applies? Oh, yeah.
All right, so what's the marching order again? Sparkle, Sakar, Albrecht,
Dallin.
Dallin, Seven Owls. Okay.
Mhm.
All right, you guys head down to this room one by one, and get to you get down the staircase and into a room that is actually fairly large. And there are in fact a bunch of like looking treasure chests, as well as a couple of a bunch of small barrels, like maybe a little over a foot tall, all kind of stuck together, or
Okay.
rather stacked up in the corner.
Nice. I'll check in. Start checking inside the barrels. See what's in them.
When you open the barrels, you see that they are full of a silvery powder material.
Hey, residuum. That should all be up for grabs, seeing as Stabbums doesn't get paid in residuum. Do any of you guys know how to make magic items?
No.
Well, we should take it anyways. Maybe we'll find someone who does.
All right.
Do we have a way to carry it?
Well, we'll come back for it, I guess, probably. And maybe we can just build or like find a cart somewhere. There are definitely stuff, if anything isn't broken, or we can try to do some simple repairs or get something from the ship.
We could ask Stabbums for help.
Yeah, I guess we actually could.
Since he seems to have control over the little spiders.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, little
And-
spider.
Till technically works for us, I guess.
Little spider.
Yeah, the spider kind of turns to look at you.
Is there any way you could maybe get your friends to take these barrels back to our ship?
I'm sorry, what now?
Is there a way that you could carry these barrels back to our ship for us?
Yeah, I guess during my break.
Okay. Also, stay off the ship after you get there and deposit the stuff. Don't stick around.
Just leave him outside the ship.
Yes.
We'll get him on the ship once we're over there.
Okay.
Thank you. I'll check the other barrels to see kind of what's what.
Yeah, there's a lot of residuum here.
Sweet. Still plenty of gold.
Yes. Lots of gold, in fact.
Anything other than gold in any of these chests or buckets or anything?
I mean, yeah, some of it, there's like some gems and stuff, but generally speaking, it's about, it's all gold and money. It's either gold or residuum.
Okay. Well,
Yeah, let's get all the residuum and I don't know, maybe 1 or 2 of these barrels of gold, so we still leave plenty for Stabbums, but can take some to have some liquid cash.
okay. You sure this is okay?
I mean, Stars is not using it. If she left it to Stabbums, I think at least Sakar and I have a pretty good claim on it.
Very well. But we need to find this fetter.
Yeah. But this is good. We wars require resources.
Hmm.
All right. Yeah, Spider. I'm gonna basically like just pull out a piece of chalk and I'll just like mark all the vials that have residua in them and like one or two that have gold in them. It's like if you could move all the ones that are marked, that'd be great.
Okay.
Thanks. Let's move on.
Did we ever find out what they were digging for?
Nope. I don't know that they know. It's great because Stabums wonders what the spiders are digging for, but the spiders are Stabums. So this whole thing is very, very, very problematic.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's move off into that general direction to find the fetter.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, when you guys come out, Stabums is not there.
No.
Just kind of moved on, but the spiders are digging still.
What are you digging for? I shout at the spiders.
These guys seem like they're busy.
Do all of the digging spiders seem to be hybrids as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, every spider that you've seen is some sort of messed up monster spider.
Great.
Of course.
Let's proceed in the general direction of the fetter.
We soldier on.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys travel for a little while, and now that you're past the big dig, you start seeing the dust clear, and you are able to see another sort of set of buildings with some like kind of like makeshift barricades around them. You're getting at this point pretty close to the opposite edge of the island.
Not sure if this is a good or a bad thing.
This is area that nothing was built in and nothing, as far as I know, no one's really explored. So this might be wherever that weird death node is Sakar mentioned. There could be something lurking here. I mean, as previously discussed, just be on guard.
Yes.
Always.
All right. Start looking around carefully.
Okay. Well, you guys can get past the barricade pretty easily. And yeah, there's a clump of buildings and more corpses.
They're also still from the SARS's crew?
Nope.
Oh, who are these?
These are soldiers that you don't recognize. And there's at least one guy that was like pretty clearly had his like face caved in, wearing like Asmodeus priestly robes.
Can we tell like what caved his face in?
Maybe a palm, moving at extreme speeds. Probably from stealth.
Oh wow. Nice. So like, do we see any? But like, so do we think that this is like Salath's ninjas killed them?
It's possible that Salath killed them.
So does this
sure,
man's face have
why.
any knives in it?
Yes, there are some knives.
Of the throwing knife variety?
Yeah.
Of the variety that we are specifically looking for?
Yes.
All right, cool. I'll start pulling them out.
Okay. You pull a couple out. There's nothing. But eventually you spot another priest that has one sticking out of its eye socket. And you see, as you approach it, you see Salath appear over by it.
Oh, hey.
Hello.
Well, that wasn't so hard.
Well, that's good. The spiders didn't give you trouble?
No, they're apparently under the control of Stabums, who is also sort of turned into a spider and is digging for something, but he doesn't know what.
He doesn't know he's a spider.
Yeah.
Did you say there was something under the island? Or inside the island?
I said there could be.
It's probably
And
what
do
they're
we know
digging
what that
for.
might be?
Not really.
Well, should we?
Is that something that we should probably investigate before Stabbums and his spiders get to it?
Not if. I mean, you said they were digging. Do they seem to be good at it?
Yes.
Well, unless you have the means to dig faster than them, I don't see how we could beat up to it.
Fair enough. All right. Well then.
Is Stabum still employed?
Yes.
How?
Sarza left a hoard of gold for him.
That makes sense. Well, just make sure that you don't take all of it.
Yeah, no, we took a little bit of the gold and all of the
Residuum.
That's the one. So that he can stick around.
If he has become something else and is now, I guess, in control of all of these spiders, that could be quite disastrous. Slot are naturally very resistant to the energies of the astral sea. So I think if he ever ran out of money, he would not have a hard time getting off of this island.
Yeah.
Well, that's a problem for another time.
Yeah, looking at the things of gold, about how long, do we think he'll stay employed?
What did I say? Gold for every 2 days?
Yeah, gold for every 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so as a rough estimate, by which I mean a completely exact estimate, there is 1,050,000 gold down there.
Oh.
After what we took?
Oh, no, then there's only 50 gold.
Including what you took.
All right, and so how much are we taking?
How much
50,000.
are you taking?
1 million.
Exactly 50,000. That's how much we're taking.
I mean,
that will get us 2 million days.
It's fair.
So
in the astral sea, there are 400 days in a year to make it easier to do the math.
Yeah, providing time doesn't become unstuck.
That's 500,000 years.
Yeah. All right.
7 makes a good point.
Yeah, then we have no idea what the rate will be.
Well, then we need to finish this mission, kill a god, save the universe.
Okay. All right, let's
stop wasting time.
Salat holds up his finger, but your mission is literally to
ruin time?
Yes.
Yes.
So if you do that, there's nothing stopping time from passing differently for Stabums.
Yes.
The more money you leave, obviously, the more of a buffer you create.
Yes. All right. Well, let's take 100,000 gold.
Sounds good.
That'll buy a lot, but also leave Stabums with a long time.
Which, basically, I'll go with your discretion on this matter.
Well, let's grab this knife and make our way back to the ship.
Sounds good.
All right. You guys grab the knife?
Yep.
Okay.
I guess Little Sparkle grabs the knife. She's a knife person.
Yep, I am.
She's a very
Shakar grabs the knife and gives it to Little Sparkle.
Throws it at her.
The corpse falls over.
Is it still dead?
Yep.
All right.
So once you guys have the knife and you're getting ready to head back, Little Sparkle spots something else.
Uh-oh.
What?
It appears to be a weird glow. It's different from the spider's glow, and it's kind of erratic. It just kind of sparks and then stops and then kind of sparks again.
She'll gesture. It's like, there's something here. I'm going to go check it out.
Careful.
Yeah. I'm going to sneak up towards it.
Okay. As you approach it, you see what it is, which is just like a weird glow kind of suspended in space. It's sort of blue and sort of white, and it again just kind of sparks furiously, or rather appears furiously. It's not like it's like it doesn't look like fire. It just looks like kind of maybe like a brief vapor, or like something kind of oddly geometrical at times. It doesn't seem to have like a super fixed form, but it does kind of exist in one space.
Does it look like Vegas?
It does not look like a cute fox, no.
Does it look like gardenia?
No, it doesn't.
Okay.
Also, do the rest of you come over?
Yeah, we're all over there looking at it.
Yeah.
Okay. So only Little Sparkle can really see it. The Sakar can see the effect of the glow, especially when Little Sparkle approaches it. He can see that there is a light shining onto Little Sparkle from it that is, again, sort of sparky and erratic. The rest of you don't see anything. She's just kind of looking at empty air.
What are you looking at?
There's like a sparky thing here. I get a little closer.
I don't see anything.
Be
Albrecht?
careful. Oh,
No, I'm not seeing it either, right?
Yep, you're not seeing it either.
No.
It's right here. I'll keep approaching, like kind of reach out my hand.
Yeah, you try to touch it.
Careful.
Okay. So you touch it, and then all of a sudden everybody can see it because it starts to glow very brightly.
Oh.
And it kind of extends to what appears to basically what it looks like is it looks like Sparkle just put her hand through a roughly spherical field, or maybe semi-spherical field, and just immediately the area inside the field, like it glows and then it stops glowing, and then all of the rocks and debris in that area begin to move and sort of get themselves cleaned up until the ground appears to be flat. And then a hole begins to appear at the center of it. Again, this is all extremely fast. And at first, it's hard to tell exactly what's happening, but pretty soon, Little Sparkle can spot that there's kind of this like shadow that's moving extremely fast doing it. It's just something that just moves so fast that it's impossible to really tell what it is. And sure enough, very quickly, there's a hole dug up, and then some of the debris and then also materials, apparently from elsewhere in the island, begin to be brought in, and a small building starts to be built, just brick by brick, extremely fast, until there's basically actually not super small cottage, but a nice little cottage, and actually like a bit of a vegetable garden is like cleared out and grown around it, again, just extremely fast. Eventually, once the whole thing settles, you guys start seeing like basically lights flickering from inside. Like they turn on, they turn off, they turn on, they turn off, they turn on, they turn off, they turn on, they turn off. And then finally they stop turning back on. And you start to see like just very quickly, all of the plants wilt away. The structure kind of gets dusty and scratched up. Some mold that begins to appear around it, and then it all stops. And then basically Little Sparkle, with her hand through this, had been kind of held there by the force of it, and then she can feel that it just kind of goes away.
Whoa.
That was different.
It's almost like a time.
agreed.
I'm gonna go inside.
Okay.
Okay.
Be careful.
Yeah, I mean, a cottage just built itself out of time. Because I touched it. Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
Okay.
Inside is what appears to be an abandoned cottage. There are, tables and a few dishes here and there, but just like it's like a one floor thing. And so over here is a room that was clearly like a bedroom type thing. There's really just a cot, which is now in like severe disrepair. kind of like a little kitcheny area, but then you get through a door, and probably the largest part appears to be, or appears to have been, some sort of laboratory. There are, flasks and random things kind of there. Nothing's on, no fires are on, there's no liquid in anything. Some of the stuff looks like there probably used to be liquid, but has now evaporated. There's lots of parchment and paper kind of strewn about, and some of it hung on the walls, as well as a kind of a central sort of working area desk that has a bunch of paperwork around it, or just like paper around it, as well as some as a handful of items as well, mostly covered up by paperwork, but you can still see them.
Sloth, do you have any idea what this is?
He appears, looks like a cottage.
But why is there a cottage that came out of time?
Well, time is fluctuating. How did it appear?
As a weird sparking light that apparently only me and Sakar could see?
That's interesting. He walks up to one of the walls. Well, this looks like Randus's work.
Whoa. I'll go take a look.
Yeah, sure enough, there's some schematics and stuff. It's hard to tell what a lot of these are. They just seem to be kind of individual parts or pieces that are mechanical. But actually, as you kind of make your way around the wall, you start seeing sort of anatomical sketches of Kenku claws.
Whoa.
So there's a hand that you look at your own hand as this is very much like your hand.
Mm-hmm.
And then a bunch of them kind of gripping stuff, and a couple of them with maybe there's a ring and one finger goes through it, and then there's a couple others and that are just have big X's through them.
Looking at the items, does there appear to be corresponding to the diagram, something that was meant to be held by a Kenku?
Yeah, when you move the paperwork, one of the things that you spot on the table is a weapon. It's probably all of a foot long, maybe a little longer, from the tip of the blade all the way to the back of the hilt, and it just has it's a big dagger, just a very thin blade, and has a kind of a circular bit of a cross guard that is kind of glowing with a similar sort of glow from what you saw earlier, and then just a tiny little hint of a pommel at the opposite end, which also glows. It's like the crossguard glows, the pommel glows, crossguard glows, pommel. So it's just kind of ticking back and forth. There is also what appears to be a very nice looking sash, sort of a black sash. And when you pick it up to look at it, you can tell that there's some weird circuitry woven into it.
Randus somehow left gear here for me? Maybe wherever he is, he's still capable of making things? I'll pick up the, I basically try putting on the sash and getting a feel for the dagger.
Yeah, you put on the sash and it kind of adjusts itself so that it's comfortable but snug. And then, yeah, the dagger is just very well balanced.
I'm just going to look around at the notes where the stuff was to see if there's anything that's explaining what these are for, or any notes from Randus.
Leave a user's manual.
Yeah, exactly. Or if found, please return to.
Yes, please return to the fourth dimension.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
No, nothing as helpful as a user's manual. But the sash does appear to sort of work automatically.
Oh yeah, magical gear. How I've missed you.
So you put it on and you kind of look at the notes. So this is a sash of regeneration. You can find it on the Adventurer's Vault 2. It only has one property, which is you get regeneration 5 while you're bloodied.
Oh, sweet.
And as far as the dagger, there's nothing very clear, but there are, you've like spotted some training dummies and some corpses if you want to try and figure out what it does.
Yeah, are there training dummies in here?
Not in here, but you've passed some.
Well, I'll figure that out afterwards. Well, while we're here, I'll look around and see if there's anything like, I don't know, diagrams of that look like Sakar or anything else that looks like it's kind of in working condition or...
No. After some time spent looking around, you're pretty sure that Randus was here and he was working on something, and more than likely he was working on something for him.
Mm-hmm.
Likely a way to like stabilize himself.
And
this is literally just like something that he whipped up.
It's a side project.
It's like, oh, I've been working on this too long. I need something to take my mind off. I'll make epic level magic items.
Oh, Randus, I hope you're okay. You remain my hero. I will scrawl a little note on some of the paper. Just says, Randus, if you come back here, I found your gear. I'm okay. I'm with Sakar. I hope you're okay too. We'll try to find you. Then she'll walk out and then look at Sakar and say, this is a good sign. Randus was here.
What?
She'll like show off her dagger. This is what was causing the glowing. It was, I guess, calling to me. He's I think stuck outside of time or in some weird pocket of time, and was trying to stabilize himself. And no, just his handiwork. I left him a note in case he comes back.
But he was here.
Yes, I'm certain of it.
So Car's gonna go in.
We're gonna go in? Okay. By the way, this cottage looks like it's been abandoned for years.
Oh boy.
I'm gonna look for anything that might indicate where he is or where he's gone.
Yeah, not really. There's really just a bunch of schematics and stuff.
Probably gonna start throwing things around, looking a little bit more intently.
Okay. Sakar flips the place over. But what exactly are you? What are you looking for specifically?
Anything that would indicate where he might be or where he might have gone, or that he's not dead of old age somewhere that we can't see.
Yeah, unfortunately, that is a possibility that has now become a possibility. So, if anything, you just find things that corroborate the fact that this place was abandoned years ago.
That's going to be good for his emotional state. There's probably a chance that people outside may hear some crashing at that point.
Sakar, you okay?
There has to be something.
I really don't think there does.
How could he have been here?
Time is not linear in the way that you're thinking. As time becomes unlocked, we could be experiencing something at one speed, and he could be experiencing something in another. We're just not in alignment with one another. The real question
is how old he's going to be when we find him again.
It depends. You could be in the future at the moment when you go into that cabin, and that's so weird. In reality, he could still be Randus as you remember Randus, or he may be gone forever. But we did see this house get built up and destroyed in a matter of moments. Or
well,
grow
not
old
destroyed,
in a grow old
just
in a
decay.
A little dilapidated,
decay,
yeah.
So
in seconds.
Yeah, so there's nothing that says Randus is gone. He's just gone from the point in time in which you were in that house.
Yeah, there's no indication of like a corpse, and in fact, this place has been abandoned. But if he had just like dropped dead right here, like there probably would be something. Yeah.
Little red spiders with goggles on.
Yeah, it clearly looks like it's been abandoned for quite some time.
He must have come back here looking for us and then tried to use the time to fix himself. But that means he's still, well, that means that Asmodeus doesn't really have him, and that's something.
Yeah.
That
That means he
is-
has some means to get around.
It's not
Mhm.
nothing.
We should go.
Yes.
Finally.
This was certainly an interesting trip. Let's get out of here.
Yeah.
Though I will pause if I spot one of those training dummies on our way out.
Yeah, you could find one.
I'll stab it a bunch.
Yeah, stab it. Well, at first nothing seems to happen.
Yeah, I'll try playing with the pommel light thing and trying to figure out if there's some kind of activation I need to use.
You kind of, again, this thing kind of like clicks back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
So you kind of try to like just kind of synchronize your movement with it. And at one point, we'll say you actually like throw it at one of the training dummies.
Mm-hmm.
Once you're kind of gotten yourself in sync with it. And then, so we'll say that like maybe Sakar is just like maybe like a couple of feet away from you. So Sakar sees Little Sparkle throw the dagger, and then there's a flash of light, and a training dummy with a dagger in it is where Little Sparkle used to be.
Where
Interesting.
did Little Sparkle go?
She's over there where the dummy used to be.
That is awesome!
So this is a transposing weapon,
Oh,
and
that's
it's a
so
transposing dagger, level 29, so it's a +6.
Woo!
You have been wanting a teleport.
I have been. I mean, it's like the one mobility-related power I don't have.
All right, we will continue back to the ship.
You can do what I can do now, Sparkle.
Yeah, I can. Huh. As we previously showed, that's pretty useful. And the best part is, I guess it is pretty much like what you did, because you had to stab me to move me. Though it's more like you didn't switch places with me, we both moved.
I've got another one but I know how to do that too. But because switching places wouldn't have gotten us anywhere, I had to just take us both.
Interesting. I wonder if that was the inspiration for, is that a sword mage thing?
No, it is a warlock thing. That is something that I got from M.
Well, I wonder, who knows, with the whole way time is working, maybe Randus saw you do it and got inspired about it like 3 years ago and then decided to do it.
From what Master Oram says about Randus, that doesn't seem unlikely.
Yeah. He is impressive. I'm pretty sure he could take over my continent if he actually wanted to. But don't tell him that. Or do. He still just wouldn't want to.
He has enough trouble taking care of his own lands.
Yeah. Now there we go. Now that I'm Lady Sparkle, maybe I can take some of those lands off his hands. Although that might involve marrying him, and that is right out.
It would make his mother very happy.
Yeah, no, she previously discussed she wants someone that can have, human babies with him.
What's a feather here and there between friends? Do we know when Stabham's break actually is?
No, not really. But let's head back to the boat and see if there's barrels.
Yep.
We head to the boat.
Well, you've done a lot of walking, so it takes a good long while, but eventually you do get back to the boat, and sure enough, there's a bunch of barrels of residuum and some chests full of gold.
Any spiders on the boat?
Not that you can see.
All right. Even better.
Burn the gold.
Yep. Let's load everything up and make sure everyone is with us, and then maybe head out.
Yeah, that seems reasonable. Well, I'll double check, make sure Saloth is on the boat.
I mean, you take the dagger on board with you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so he appears on the boat.
Oh, all right. That seemed to work.
All right. Gold, residuum, ghost ninja. I think that's a good place to stop this week on Critical Hit. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us on these adventures. I hope you're enjoying them. If you are, how about you tweet it out? Use the hashtag Critical Hit when you do so, and let people know why you enjoy the game and why you enjoy listening to the show and whatever else that you like about Critical Hit. And when I see it pop up, I will retweet it. Everyone else will retweet it as well. And for everyone who does use the hashtag Critical Hit and they tweet it out, here's hoping all of your dice rolls are critical hits.
This podcast is copyright 2019 by Major Spoilers Entertainment, LLC.